Hey guys, so I had a lot of things going through my head about what I wanted to talk about today, a little bit of everything. Today was my first day back at work since February. I'd been in the office half days on like a couple Wednesdays here and there, a couple hours here and there, but today was the first day I have worked all day in the office since February 12th, I think. My mom had surgery on the 13th. So I was working from home, but from her house during the day, so I could just kind of be there, cook dinner, help out with some few things. Nothing major. I was by no means a caretaker, but just helping out, being around a person to have on hand. And then I was supposed to go back to work the week the lockdown started. So today, so what is that? February to March, March to April, April to May, May to June. That is almost 4 full months I have been working from home. So I was really happy to go back to work. I was also really happy that my Starbucks was open. That was very nice. So I got my Starbucks this morning. That was lovely. It's a little weird. They're only bringing back like a third of us for the first wave. So there's a handful of people on my side of the floor, and normally it's really loud, everybody talking, just overwhelming. And today it was kind of quiet. Downtown, there was a fair amount of people out. I wasn't sure if it would be crowded or not. I didn't see any protesters. Thankfully, I didn't see any rioters. I passed 4 National Guard trucks on the way in, so that was kind of fun. Saw a little bit of graffiti. A friend said that Gordon Biersch had a window broken, but aside from that, I didn't really see any damage or any results from the rioters. So overall, it was a pretty good day. After work, I went to the shooting range and I shot a 357 and a 38. My aim is much better with the 357. The 38 takes a little bit of practice. But I will just say for the ladies out there, I get it. There's a fear factor to guns, especially if you've never been around them, haven't been raised around them. I certainly was not. Um, but it's very empowering. It's very confidence building to learn about them, to get comfortable with them, to just use them. And even if you're not that great of a shot, just kind of feeling the power of them, just kind of getting used to how they handle. So, I mean, if it's something that you're interested in, I would strongly suggest that you try it. Um, like I said, very empowering, very confidence building, at least for me. So, if that's something that you've thought about, don't hesitate to do it. There are tons of shooting ranges and different places around the central Ohio area that you can go and take classes. A lot of them do ladies only. I didn't even realize when I scheduled my appointment tonight that tonight is ladies' night, so everything was half price for ladies. The range time, the gun rentals, all that kind of stuff. So that was a nice surprise. I didn't even realize that. But it's just very empowering. Um, Speaking as someone who has struggled with self confidence, with feelings of self worth, it's just those surprising little things that you can do for yourself that just kind of builds that confidence up. I never would have thought in a million years that I'd actually be a pretty good shot. And even aside from that, just the confidence that it gives you. So, a little bit more about me. Um, my divorce has been final for about 2.5 years now. Yeah. So we separated in December of 16. The divorce was final in December of 17, and I moved out in July of 18. So I realized that's a little weird. My ex-husband and I lived together as roommates. We each had our own space for about a year and a half from the time we separated to the time after the divorce until the time I moved out. It worked for us. We were not at a place where we were angry, yelling, hateful. Um, we just kind of grew apart. Opinions changed, attitudes changed, feelings changed. He's not a bad person. I don't bear him any ill will. But I changed dramatically when I moved out. And I didn't think that I would. Like, I had already started feeling a little more self confident, feeling a little more empowered. By the time it took me probably a good 6 months from the time that I really started contemplating divorce. Um, the thoughts had kind of been little nagging thoughts that I ignored for a long time. But from the time I finally admitted to myself, maybe it's time to start thinking about divorce, it took me a good 6 months to work up the courage to actually tell him that. I was terrified that he would say, fuck you, get out. Terrified that I don't know. I didn't know how he would react. I didn't know if he'd get mad, if he'd get upset, if he'd be furious and kick me out and trash my stuff or try and take custody of my dog, all kinds of stuff. I didn't know. I was scared. And I couldn't afford to move out on my own at that time. Um, and part of me just felt really bad because it wasn't that I didn't love him. I just wasn't in love with him anymore. And part of me just kept thinking, but maybe we can work on it. Maybe we can try and make it better. And I went through therapy. I started counseling. She did not diagnose me with depression, but she said, I believe you are going through a depressive event, and said that I could benefit from antidepressants. So at that time, I had already started trying to change around my eating habits, my beauty products to be more natural based as opposed to chemical. And so I did some research and I found it's a supplement, mineral, herb. I don't know the difference. I really don't. Like I said, please don't ever treat me as an expert. It's Rhodiola Rosea. Um, it's an adaptogen. I think I'm saying that right. Um, from all my research, it mimics the effects of prescription antidepressant. It suppresses the serotonin, I believe. That might be the wrong word. Um, Basically, that part of your brain, at least that part of my brain, that replays everything. The part of your brain that, oh my God, why did you say that? Oh my God, you sound so stupid. Now these people think you're an idiot. Why did you say that? And then we'll just keep replaying that on a constant loop in your head. You're so stupid. You sound like an idiot. These people are going to think you're stupid. And just the constant replaying over and over and over. That helps block that. It helps stop that so that you're not dwelling constantly on everything that you think you did wrong, every stupid thing you've ever said, well, I wish I'd said that. Oh, well, I thought of that 3 days later, every silly little thing. My boss would get upset with me and it would just be in my head for days. I would be upset about it, just dwelling on it, just focusing on it, just replaying it over and over and over. And your body, when you replay those memories over and over and over again, your body reacts to it just like it did the first time. So you are constantly putting yourself back in that same state of upset, whether it was fear, whether it was anger, whether it was frustration. I cry when I'm frustrated, like when I am just so frustrated, when I feel like I'm not being heard, when I'm not being understood, or you tell me one thing and then you tell me something different, or you tell me one thing but then you do another, and then you tell me to do something and I do it and then you get mad at me. Like that level of frustration, that's when I cry. And I hate it. And I hate that I do that. But starting to take the Rhodiola Rosea really helped with that. I didn't focus on the negative as much. And I thought that by starting the separation process, then the divorce process, that I was taking charge, that I was changing, and I was, but it wasn't until I moved out and moved into my apartment now that I like completely changed. Like all the things I'd always said about myself. I'm lazy, I'm a horrible housekeeper. I'm, a procrastinator. I'm just all those negative things that you tell yourself, they stopped. And like pretty shortly after I moved in. Like, I don't know if it was just a different mindset, knowing that I was alone and didn't have anybody else to back me up, whether it was a husband, whether it was by the end just a roommate. I don't know if that something just clicked about, well, it's only you now, so you have to do these things, but like everything changed. My sleep schedule changed. How I clean the house changed. Just everything changed, and I felt completely different, and I felt freer. And I had actually done my CCW like the month before my divorce was final. And so I haven't kept up on it a whole lot. I haven't practiced as much as I should to feel comfortable. So the long, really long way around, I just took back to that point. Um, just look for those ways that you can empower yourself. It doesn't have to be with guns if you're not comfortable with that. I get it. The climate that we're in, some people are going to run to them for self protection, and some people are going to be even more leery, more cautious, more scared, whatever. That's up to you. That's your right. If you don't like them, I wouldn't want you to do something that you're completely uncomfortable with, but at the same time, just educate yourself. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. That's everybody has something different that they're comfortable with, something that makes them feel good about themselves, makes them feel empowered. So again, I guess my really long rambly point is find that thing that makes you feel empowered. For me, it's been a lot of things, but the one that really I'm focusing on right now is the firearm training. Concealed carry classes, handgun training, just getting more comfortable with different calibers, different brands, different types, learning how they work. It helps me build my own confidence, feel a little more secure, and I think we all need that, no matter what it is. Obviously, like I said, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Find your thing. It could be anything, whether it's creating something, writing something, art, music. I love music. I love listening to the radio. I even love singing, but I can't read music to save my life. People that can amaze me because I get it. The closer they are together, the faster the song is, the higher it goes on the thing, the higher the pitch is. Like, I get it in theory, but to actually read music, no, I have no clue. So, again, I feel like I ramble a lot, and I really apologize, and I'm really glad that you guys listen. So if you made it to the end of this, like 14 minutes now, thank you for hanging in there. I'm working on being a little more concise, I guess, in my messages. I want you guys to get something out of this. I want you to feel like whether you're watching me to learn something, to learn what not to do, to just, be like, hey, I feel that. I get that I've done that. Like, I understand. I've done the same thing. So I just want to share some of the things that I've done, that I'm currently doing. So, in this climate where I think fear is driving everything that we do, whether it's to the pandemic, whether it's to the rioters, the protesters, like, today we were talking, a friend of mine, he's like, yeah, they haven't been down here much. I'm like, it's the regular protesters, they're just trying to get their message out. It's all the rioters that have co-opted their message that is what caused me concern and why I didn't want to go downtown last week. But in this climate, no matter what city you live in, it's everywhere. And fear is what's running a lot of people right now, whether it's fear of getting sick, fear of loved ones getting sick, fear of riots, and people doing stupid shit to try and make their points. People co-opting the peaceful protests and turning them violent to get their message of chaos and anarchy out there. It's really a scary time right now. I mean, obviously not just for women and men too, but obviously my experience is as a woman. So I would just say, male or female, man or woman, find something. And it might take a bit of trial and error, practice here and there, experiment and see what you like, what you don't like, what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. Find something that makes you feel confident. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Who cares? I turned an old ugly pair of pants that were 2 sizes too big. I shouldn't say ugly. I really liked them. They were snake print and they were really cute. And I bought them last summer thinking they would fit because I wore a size 18 at the time. Oh my God, they were like 2 sizes too big when I bought them. And now I've gone down like 2 pant sizes. So now they're super extra huge. Like even with a belt, they're just comically huge. So I turned them into a skirt. It's not the best looking skirt. It's not going to get me in trouble. I'm not going to be flashing anybody. But I turned them into a skirt. That's pretty cool. I've never done that before. So I was pretty proud of myself that I could do it. That's not life-changing. That's not earth-shattering. So if you can do that, go you. Go make something to feel productive, to feel creative, to give yourself a sense of accomplishment. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if anybody else appreciates it or likes it or understands it. Who cares what anybody else thinks? That to me is the biggest thing, is I spent so many years so wrapped up, so worried about what do other people think of me? Do they think I look stupid? Do they think I look fat? Do they want to talk to me? Do they think I sound stupid? Like, did I just offend somebody? Like, my whole persona was wrapped up in what other people thought of me. And I'm not saying that I'm completely over that, because I'm not. But I've gotten a lot better. A lot better. There's going to be some people, I am a bold personality, and especially with being at home the last 4 months, my filter is non-existent. I'm pretty sure I muttered what the fuck at least 3 times today. Thankfully I said it quietly, but it was one of those, oh shit, people can hear me now. Gotta watch how I'm responding to some things. And so I've always understood. I am kind of a lover or hater kind of person. There's not much in between. I'm either gonna piss you off and you can't believe I said what I said, or that I could be so rude, or that I could be so blunt, or you're gonna love the fact that I'm honest. There's kind of no happy medium, at least as far as I see it. There's not, when you ask people, it's not, oh yeah, she's all right. It's like, oh, she's really great. I don't like her at all. There's not much in between. And I've learned to be okay with that. I'm still not 100%, please don't get me wrong. I still struggle sometimes of, oh, I really like that person. I want them to like me. And sometimes they just don't. And so do what you want to do to make yourself feel better. Whether it's just going and buying a new book, planting a garden, doing an indoor garden, potted plants, painting something, reading something, writing something, singing something, sewing something, whatever it is, do something that makes you feel good. Try and do that at least once a day. I don't always get to do it every day with work and volunteering and everything else. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. But I try and do something that's just for me. And sometimes that just for me is taking 30 minutes when I should be doing something else, and just be like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing for 30 minutes because that's what I want to do right now. I'm tired. I don't want to think. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. I need to just sit for a bit. So, that today is, I guess, the very long winded point of my message. Is do something that makes you feel good about yourself. It doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter if other people appreciate it, it doesn't matter if they understand why it makes you feel good. It's about you. It's about what brings you joy, what brings you comfort. So just take a minute, take a little bit of time. Doesn't matter if it's 5, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever time you can spare. Just do a little something to indulge yourself, to comfort yourself, to do something just for you, nobody else. So, all right, that is today. I thank you guys very much for listening, and I hope that you like it, and I hope that you're getting something out of it. So I will see you later. Bye.